Let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
Could be a good match. Yeah.
You just thought you'd throw that in, didn't you?
Well, I had to regain some ground there, I think. But
well,
it's
I thought I wouldn't mention it because we had a truce, didn't we? We had a truce not to talk.
We had a truce. Well, commending you for not mentioning it. But no, I wanted to just let you know I should be up in Manchester. So cheering my team on.
Is it this weekend?
It's on Sunday. Coming Sunday.
All right, yeah. Sundays are, as a man of faith, Sundays are a bit busy days for me. Yeah. You mentioned Crystal Palace, and it's quite interesting because I read something that was a bit controversial about the offside that was awarded. Do you know anything about that? Have you read anything about that? Presumably you was at that game, weren't you?
I was at Sunday's game, yeah. I think that I don't know what you're referring to. There was only. Oh no, I know what you mean. It was. No, hang on. Was it the penalty? What am I thinking of? It was the. Yes, it was the penalty, wasn't it? Whereby one of our players actually encroached into the area before he kicked the ball. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and actually it's an interesting rule that, because a lot of players nowadays, they run up to the ball to take a penalty and they kind of stop. You know what I mean? And they stop. So that in itself makes it very hard, because what traditionally happens at a penalty, the players, both teams have got to be outside not just the penalty area but the D, which makes sure there's always 12 yards from the penalty spot. But when he kicked the ball, it seems one of our players, and I think possibly one of Brentford's, but one of our players encroached just before he kicked the ball. And as I say, this is where it's not fair, because under the law with penalties, a player is not allowed to stop. He can't run up to the ball, stop, and then kick the ball. So what they kind of do, they run up, so many of them do it now, and they do sort of, you might say, slow right down, and it may be a flowing movement, I don't know, but they seem to stop visually. They stop, and then they see which way the goalkeeper's going to dive and put it the other side. I mean, it can be quite clever, and the guy who, I forget his name, but he's a very good penalty taker. He doesn't normally miss them. But again, because the players are starting to run in, anticipating the moment he kicks the ball, in case there's a rebound and they want to clear it, when they kind of stop, one of the defending players often can't stop themselves going into the area and encroaching. So the VAR checked it, and you could see what was going to happen. They said, yeah, he's encroached. And when I saw it later on my phone, actually, yeah, he did encroach for the reason I said. But the thing is, his penalty hit the post, his first penalty. Unusual for this guy. He's usually 100%er. And it bounced out and across and went off either for a corner or a goal kick. Can't remember. Yeah. But then VAR poked its nose in and said, we're looking to see if there was an encroachment, which of course there was. He took the penalty again and he scored, which is a bit unfair. I mean, you could argue that encroachment or not, he missed the penalty, he hit the post, and it made no difference. Having said that, you can't just say, well, we won't apply the rule. There is a rule, but are players who take penalties like that, where they effectively come to a stop, albeit for a moment, is that not breaking the rule of penalties? And therefore it kind of goes a bit both ways. And so anyway, that clearly didn't help Palace. If that happened,
South Family and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose, we all have a lovely show every weekday. So join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom, Dr. Glad.
He missed the penalty, he hit the post, and it made no difference. Having said that, you can't just say, well, we won't apply the rule. There is a rule, but are they breaking are players who take penalties like that, where they effectively come to a stop, albeit for a moment.
Yeah.
Is that not breaking the rule of penalties? And therefore it kind of goes a bit both ways. And so anyway, that clearly didn't help Palace. If that hadn't happened, I mean, the end result was 2-1. Palace lost with a goal fairly near the end. But that did stick in the throat a bit. The fact that this penalty, arguably, was a foul anyway, because he sort of stops on his way to take it. So that was something that was a bit annoying. But on balance, I don't think Crystal Palace played that well. Neither did Brentford, really. On Sunday, they were two pretty average teams. But I'm not sure either really deserved to win. I mean, you mentioned offside. There was only one offside in the whole match, which is quite unusual, isn't it, these days for Premier League matches? Usually quite a few offsides. But no, it was a fairly equal match, lacked a bit of passion and so on. But then again, I think Palace tend to play better against the bigger teams. And, we've been up to Old Trafford before and won once in a while, as we have done Man City and Liverpool, whereas we'll go and lose to one of the teams at the bottom. So it's a strange makeup of how we perform, how Palace perform against the various teams in the division. But no, as I say, I'm looking forward to coming to Old Trafford again. It's a stadium nowadays in some need of updating, of fresh lick of paint. I mean, for that club, probably the most famous club in the world, they seem to have let the stadium. There's lots of leaks apparently around the place. People get wet under the roofs. But anyway, neither here nor there. It's a great place to go, good atmosphere, and it's always a good day out as well. There's no trains to speak of, to be honest, because of the Avanti problems. And I guess I don't go to all the away games. I've been to the last few, but I guess we would have been going up on a train, but in fact we're going to drive. One of us will drive up there now. There's about 5 or 6 of us in the car. So we'd all go up by road and make a nice day out. I'd be all for staying over that night, but I think one or two have got to go to work the next day, so it's not going to work. But anyway, we'll see what happens. And if Palace should lose, I want no mention of the match at next week's podcast, please. But if Palace should win, then I think that's all we should probably discuss.
I thought you was going to say that. I thought you was going to say that. I'm listening. I'm thinking, right, what if the other way around? Yeah, I thought you was going to say that. Right, yeah. So, yeah, it would have been nice to meet up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see anyway. But, so the next topic is Pep Guardiola. We usually start this show with Pep. But we
don't we?
Yeah, we start giving him a break this week, but it's still going to feature. Now, he said something, and it got me confused. He said, I don't think he won the. I don't really know if he won the match. I think he lost. Yeah, I think he lost his. I think he's lost another game in the Champions League. And I think they're bottom of the table now, aren't they?
They lost 4-2, didn't they, last week? I think.
Yeah. So I think
and they were 2-0 up as well. They were 2-0 up in that game,
and then lost
managed to lose 4-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
Now he's done a press conference, and I caught half of it. I think I caught the later part of it, but I then went online to see what it's about, and he was talking about.
Sarfemo and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose. We all have a lovely show every weekday, so join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom.